I'm Brody Bartholomew, and this is my informative speech on why smoking is bad for you. And this is my audience. Imagine this. You're standing outside, about to light up again. You begin to pull a fresh cigarette packet out of your pocket. You tear off the wrapping of the packaging and hear the sound of a brand new pack just waiting to be smoked. You then begin to take the first one out and put it in between your two fingers. You pull out your lighter and light it up again and again and again. You inhale that cigarette, all with nicotine and smoke, into your lungs. You feel all the smoke go down into your throat, then force it back out into the air with your own breath. As you stand there, your teeth are progressively getting yellower and frailer. The stench of your breath is going worse and worse by the second. You then meet a new friend right after this. That is what they see. That is what they smell. And that is what they know of you. Cigarettes are who they meet. Smoking is defined as the inhalation of the smoke of burning tobacco encased in cigarettes, pipes, and cigars. A smoking habit, which is what I will be talking about today, is an actual physical addiction to these tobacco products, which can have serious consequences on your health. I have many relatives who smoke many packs a day and have witnessed firsthand the detrimental impact smoking has had on them throughout their lives. Since smoking is becoming a bigger and more popular form of addiction for many people, it is important for everyone to know the risks and negative effects it can have on your body and your health. Smoking is said to be the single most largest preventable cause of death and disease in the United States. It kills roughly around 500,000 people each year, with a little over 40,000 of them due to secondhand smoke exposure. According to research done in 2014, around 16.8% of Americans, or 40.4 million Americans, were current smokers. Of this amount, around 76.8% of them smoked every day. That is a lot of people. Smoking can have serious health consequences on not only you, but also the people around you. This is why there are many no smoking laws around the country that prevent people from exposing the general public to their secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke is said to be a silent killer to most people, but it is completely preventable. The only foolproof way for non-smokers to be fully protected from this is to eliminate smoking in people who smoke altogether. Most exposure to secondhand smoke occurs in homes and workplaces, but people can also be exposed in bars, restaurants, and even bus stops. There are many health risks due to secondhand smoke exposure. It is known to cause cancer because many of the chemicals that are known to cause cancer are in the smoke they are inhaling. There is evidence that links exposure to larynx, pharynx, nasal issues, nasal sinuses, brain, bladder, rectum, stomach, breast, and lung cancers, while also adding lymphoma, leukemia, liver cancer, and brain tumors on top of that. When someone smokes, it does not just affect their health, but it affects everyone around them. And anyone who disagrees with me just needs to look at the facts. Young children who are most exposed to secondhand smoke are more likely to get sick, have more serious infections, and to cough, wheeze, and have shortness of breath throughout their lifetime. All these problems just from the secondhand smoke that travels in the air. Now imagine what could happen once you start putting that smoke and nicotine into your lungs. When one chooses to smoke a cigarette or any form of tobacco product for that matter, they are not only inhaling the smoke, but they are also inhaling nicotine. Nicotine, which is the active ingredient in tobacco, is not only inhaled, but it is also transported into your bloodstream, where it then reaches the brain and is eventually dispersed throughout your entire body, which is why smoking can become so addictive. If you just look at nicotine by itself, it alone can increase one's risk of heart disease. However, when you choose to smoke a cigarette, they are ingesting much more than only nicotine. However, the smoke that comes from the tobacco is made up of many harmful chemicals, a few of them being tar and carbon monoxide. Tar is the sticky substance that accumulates in your lungs, which causes smokers to have troubles breathing at times. The carbon monoxide causes artery walls to become damaged, which explains why smokers have a higher chances of heart attacks, and heart diseases. Other than the two chemicals I just mentioned, cigarettes are said to have over 4,000 different chemicals that can influence your body's health. Not only are cigarettes addictive, but they can also influence your daily functions. Cigarettes are said to cause insomnia, irritability, fatigue, hunger, coughing, constipation, and gas. Because smoking affects so many of the body's everyday functions, smokers often are known to have vitamin deficiencies while having the potential to increase the likelihood of fractures later on in life. Smoking is a serious addiction that needs serious help as soon as possible. Research has shown that most smokers who are wanting to quit their habit benefit most from support from other people. However, there are other alternatives to help. Nicotine replacement therapy and is another form of treatment. These forms of therapy would be in the form of gum patches, nasal spray, and oral inhalers. All of these are used to slowly release a small amount of nicotine into the bloodstream, which satisfies their physical craving while at the same time not allowing them to satisfy that craving with an actual cigarette. Eventually, the end goal is to beat the addiction and draw out all the nicotine from the smoker's system. As you can see, smoking has many effects and many serious health concerns that can affect not only your life, but also everyone's lives around you. It is also a process to try and quit. So why start something that could potentially hurt yourself and others around you, and that also takes so long to try and reverse? We only get one life with one body to live in it, so why would you choose to smoke something so harmful that could reduce your lifetime in half? There are so many people in this world wanting to live another day, but they are not granted it. While some people are choosing to smoke multiple packs a day just for the enjoyment of it, while it slowly destroys your lungs and body, smoking is not worth it. Make the choice to say no to cigarettes and yes to a longer and healthier life. My sources were www.cdc.gov, www.cancer.org, and www.webmd.com.